Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stand. Manchester United beat Arsenal on penalties with 10 men against 12. We had 10 men for an hour. They still couldn't score and beat us. They had loads of decisions go their way. We had the worst refereeing performance in the history of football and we still won on penalties. Manchester United go into the draw. I tell you what, the higher you build your barriers, bum bum, the taller I become. Bum bum, you can deny me. You can decide to turn your face away no matter, 'cause there's something inside so strong. Oh no, I know that I can make it, 'cause you're doing me wrong, so wrong. Manchester United, you can defy us, but you can't beat us. And I tell you what, I'm absolutely loving the draw. We're at home to Leicester. Rude, rude, rude. But the best bit is, if you turn the BBC on, you can literally watch Martin Keown crying, the scummy Arsenal prat, because he thought he'd be doing a draw with the Emirates FA Cup at the Emirates Stadium for Arsenal, and he's not. He's drawing Man United out, and his team are crying in the bath. Have that, you cheats. Get out. Absolutely fantastic. We're loving it. We're loving it. I tell you what, smugness in victory is never more sweet than it's got Justice Jam on toast. Yes, we're back with some Justice Jam on toast. Absolutely fantastic. We mustn't forget, though, that how we've managed to do that is incredible. We must, I mean, look at that. I think if there's one thing that symbolises that performance, it's not the officiating, it's that clearance from De Ligt. How does he do it? Every time I look at that, I think Arsenal are going to score. Absolutely incredible clearance. And I think that defines and symbolises what we've done today. Somehow we have wrestled victory from a nailed-on defeat. I mean, Arsenal, I don't think you can blame Arsenal. Arsenal's problem is that they're toothless up front and they're so reliant on set pieces, and we defended them really well. But when you look at the amount of decisions that went their way, the amount of yellow cards we got, they didn't, the amount of fouls we gave away that they didn't, the penalty, the foul on Bruno that wasn't given, playing with 10 men for an hour, how we've done that is absolutely incredible. And we deserve huge, huge credit for it. But you've got to give credit to the players. I mean, the mental strength to keep going, the effort, the manager, just so much that they've done in that game to get themselves through. And Arsenal took it seriously. They picked a very, very strong side. Very, very strong. And there was no mercy there. They were not going to give us an inch, and neither was the referee. So to win that game, I would say, as a United fan that's witnessed Man United beating Arsenal in '99, it doesn't come close. But drink it in. If you're on dry January and you're doing it just for a laugh, have a glass of wine or a beer, because those moments in football don't come around that often. And it might only be a third round FA Cup game, but it's still Arsenal. It's still the Emirates. It's still a terrible official. It's still 10 men, and it's still penalties. Those games don't come around very often. I remember in '99, the third round, going right into the last 10 minutes at Old Trafford. We're losing 1-0 to Liverpool and we're not playing well. Solskjaer, I think, came on and we beat them 2-1, and it was amazing. And it was a third round game. So you've got to enjoy it, because if last week against Liverpool at Anfield we played well, this week we battled well. We didn't play well, but we battled well. And I think Xerxes, obviously great for him to score that winning penalty, but I thought he did well when he came on. Obviously Ahmad, Collier, Malacia, every one of those subs couldn't afford to put in a 6. They had to come on and do a 7 at least, and they did. Everybody contributed today. The worst player on the pitch is probably Dalot, because he was indisciplined on both tackles. But I'm not giving the referee any credit for getting that right, even though he probably did. I still think the referee is a disgrace. But as a team, we grew into the game. We showed great confidence. The BBC are gutted, by the way. I mean, Lineker's crying now. Love it. I love it. But you know, even Binder, I thought his kicking was atrocious in the first half. I thought on the goal, the punch was weak. But then as soon as he saved the penalty, it clicked. And it makes me think about goalkeepers at Man United that get swallowed up by nerves. And that's why I was worried about Binder. That's why I was worried, because I was like, you can't carry players into these sort of games. And I thought up until the penalty, he was a bit shaky. And as soon as he saved the penalty, it was like, it clicked. I belong in a Man United shirt. And from that point, he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So this is what I'm talking about. It's the confidence that will come from these last two results. You've got to fight, though. We didn't start the game particularly well, but you've got to fight. And the players are fighting. They're fighting for each other. I think the defence is given as a platform. And although we've conceded 3 goals in the last 2 games, that's not particularly bad when you're going to the Emirates and you're going to Anfield. We're in the FA Cup. We've got Leicester. We've got opportunities now. We've got something to look forward to. I still would say, and this is the great time to say it when we've got 60,000 people watching, for the love of God, put your hands in the pocket, Ineos, and give this guy some money. If he's doing this sort of thing with that, imagine what he'll do when you actually give him players that he wants. I mean, he's getting 120 minutes out of teams like that. He's getting 60 minutes out of 10 men like that. He's bringing people off the bench who are doing a job like that. We're winning penalty shootouts at the Emirates. We're going to Anfield and we're getting a draw. And we probably need 8 or 9 players. Put your hand in your pocket and give him some bloody players. Come on. We need to build on this, because you can guarantee the bad results will be coming again. And Amrin will know that. We've got to build on it. Absolutely. Zane says, as an Arsenal fan, we dominate the match. At least we can concentrate on the league. Zane, I think your season might be over on Thursday morning. Don't beat Spurs on Wednesday. Title's gone. You're out the Carabao Cup. You're out the FA Cup. Champions League. Good luck. But look, we're not here to talk about Arsenal. We're here to talk about Manchester United. And yeah, I think that there's so much to unpick. But in some ways, I just want to say, let's enjoy it. The biggest controversy was the officiating. We've spoken about that. That needs to be investigated. Even though we won, it shouldn't be swept under the carpet. It was an absolute disgrace, and people need to keep shouting about it. I have never seen an official officiate a Man United game like that before. It was incredible. The penalty is a disgrace. I mean, that's one of the worst penalty decisions I've ever seen. How he could look at Bruno Fernandes get fouled from behind and not give a free kick defies belief. How we can then, in the second half, see Harry Maguire touch Havertz's chest and give a penalty is incredible. He gave a yellow card on Martinez because he thought Martinez elbowed him, and actually Jesus hurt his knee. It was incredible. It was just absolutely disgusting. And I'm so grateful to whatever power that is. And if you don't believe in that, we should be grateful to the United players, obviously, for finding a way to win a game in such terrible circumstances. I mean, you talk about 300, you know, that film with the people with their tops off, fighting 300 against ridiculous odds. We actually won. We actually won against the odds. I feel like Phil Collins is going to come in a minute and sing against all odds, because it was incredible. I don't think people will really understand until they see it back. And we witnessed it, just how biased the referee was against United. Just how long we had to defend against Arsenal. And to come out of that game and win it. And even a penalty shootout, I'd still say Arsenal are favourites. I mean, Yoro took a penalty and Martinez took a penalty. I mean, these are defenders, and they scored. We scored every one of our penalties, which is just brilliant. Absolute mentality kings. And I think for many a year, we've looked at Man United and said, when the going gets tough, the heads hit the ground. And what we saw today was that they didn't. They stood up and fought. And look, you know what? There's always a criticism of players at Manchester United because the standards are ridiculously high. But what I always notice is that when we do well, there is always praise. And I don't think that there is a player in the last 2 weeks that doesn't deserve praise, even if they've not had the best of games. It's still a team effort. And I'm seeing less and less criticism of players now. When Xerxes steps up, this week he's going to Juventus. Players, his agent's talking to Juventus. He wants to stay. Man United aren't happy with him. And you're like, I don't know what the future's going to be, but a little less conversation, a little bit more action, please. And actually, he scored a big penalty in a big game. Like, build on that. Let's stop talking about Italy now. Let's start talking about the rest of this season. And then maybe revisit in the summer if you're not getting the game time you want. But we just got to get our heads down now. And look, there are certain players that aren't playing. Casemiro, 350k a week, not even getting a minute. As obviously we spoke about Rashford loads of times. Eriksen, 150 grand a week. Luke Shaw, injured again. Like, there's so many players that are apparently important that are not part of this journey. And I think that is, that is the thing for me that I look at, is just how incredible Manchester United have been today. And I think that, right, it might not have been the best performance, but winning when you're playing badly is always a good thing. And I don't think we played badly. I just think when you go down to 10 men, you're going to struggle. And I almost forget about it as well. The goal that we scored was magnificent. Garnacho did so well, and Bruno's finish was fantastic. But because the real story was the referee and the red card and the penalty and the defending, that was a lovely goal. And 11 against 11, I think we would have won. I think we would have won that game. So justice, yes, Arsenal will look at it. I don't care how Arsenal look at it. The referee was massively favouring you and you didn't win the game. If you think you missed big chances, I would say, well, all those big chances came from Man United being, robbed of a fair game. I think we scored the first goal 11 against 11, and I think we deserve to win the game. And at the end of the day, we're still in the trophy, we're still in the FA Cup, and you're not. And the FA Cup's really important to us. We're the FA Cup holders. We're not going to do anything in the league. The Europa League is our priority, but the FA Cup is important, and we've been rewarded with hard work today twofold. One, we've got a home tie in the FA Cup. Two, the respect and admiration and drive and imagination and support that has been generated from that performance today is massive. I mean, imagine if Arsenal had won on penalties. We'd be moaning about the referee, saying we've been robbed. We're not saying that. We're saying there was a lot of things that were disgusting about that game, but we persevered and won against the odds. And that is so important. And I think as well, I don't know how many corners Arsenal had in that game, but it was a lot. And at no point did I really think we were struggling. Whereas last time, a month ago, every corner I thought they were going to score. So it shows the progress, doesn't it? It shows the work that's gone in. I thought Amorim tactically got it spot on, dealing with 10 men. Arsenal really struggled to break us down. I thought keeping Martinez on and a yellow card was brave, and you've got to give praise to the manager and the player for not getting the second yellow. If somebody had said to me we were going to get a red card at half-time, Delo didn't even have a yellow at half-time, so I would have definitely said it was going to be Martinez. I think we dealt with so much in that game. I'm really proud of the players, and there's nothing wrong with saying that. They've just got to keep it going. They've got to keep that consistency going. Can we take a moment and appreciate the way Amorim has communicated the message publicly and privately? He must get his transfers immediately, says Hiten. Amongst the bad refereeing and amongst the win and amongst the positivity, we all know, Amorim knows, we need players. And attention has to go back to Ineos and be, what the fuck are you doing? Like, give this guy players and the journey will move quicker, won't it? Chung, welcome to Members Club. This win showed more of our mentality than Anfield, says Rohan. Yeki says Ahmad's done a tweet. They've already started, Mark. Arteta out, says Roberts. Mojo's gifted 50 memberships. Incredible, mate. Thank you very much. Would you say Amorim Ball is delivering change, says Zen and Fusion? it's going to take time, but it's getting there. Will Delo miss the next match? Yes, he will, Alberto. Please, not another Rashford rumour tomorrow, says Amadan. Ethan's gifted 10 memberships as well. You're a legend. Raya diving for a full 4 or 5 business days before the ball was even touched. What was he thinking? Says Kibu. Man United 25 fouls to Arsenal's 10. Ref biased as can be, says Tidy Brown. Jason Day has gifted 5 memberships as well. In a spliff, Mikel Arteta. Where the Xerxes haters at now, says Saf. I don't think anybody hates Xerxes, mate. I've never felt that I'll defend any United fan on this. I don't think any United fan hates Xerxes. I don't think that substitution jeering was aimed at Xerxes. I think it was aimed at a frustration at the team. I don't think there is any hate towards Xerxes. Everyone is pissed. This was never part of the script, says Yechi. Arsenal wear white and turn into Spurs, says Blake. The fight we always wanted to see in the United players. That's all we've been asking for, says Dentro. The looks on Walcott, Richards and Keown's face, all there for a United loss. Love it, says Sid. Up the Reds, what a game. Love this team. 10s all round, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. Delo should have been big up Mark. Big up. I can't say that, ST93. I can't say what you've said about Delo. Need to shout out Maguire. To go from a refrigerator last season to first name on the team sheet is outstanding, says Andrew. Oh, I don't think... Look, Maguire was brilliant today. I said this in the watch-along, I'm going to say it again. How long are we going to keep undermining Harry Maguire? How many more times are people going to say, fair play to Maguire, well done to Maguire? He's been good ever since the captaincy was taken off him. That's 18 months. He was good last season. He's been good this season. I think we need to stop saying, oh, it's amazing. Maguire's playing really well. It's consistent. We don't need to keep saying, we need to glow up Maguire. Maguire's been getting good scores for 18 months in the player ratings. He's a consistent, valuable member of the team. I think you're doing him wrong by keep going, hey, we need a special shout out for Maguire. We don't need a special shout out. He's been doing it since the captaincy took place. Very important player, very experienced player. And, you know, it's a shame he went off. I presume he was tired or had a bit of an injury, but this is consistent. He's been really consistent. First name on the team sheet, I don't like that sort of talk. I don't think we have first name on the team sheet. I think there are numerous players that are massively important to this rebuild. De Ligt, Mazraoui, Ugarte, Maguire, Martinez, Bruno, you know, Ahmad. There are so many players and we need to add more to that. Another trophyless season for Arsenal. Ten Hag still has more trophy than Pep's Cone Boy, says Phil. Get out of our tournament and take the ref with you, says Ray. You hear my voice from Turkey. Viva Alte, says Space Oddie. Where's Zayn gone, says Jason. He was here. He was here. Unbelievable. Amrim's substitution and in-game tactical changes were immense. Martinez to number 9 to move Xerxes back. Collier to right back. I thought Collier played really well, Raphael. Arteta couldn't adapt to the Carabao ball. Today he couldn't adapt to 12 men on his team, says Mojo. Leicester next, says Mikel. Right, let's do the player ratings because I know they're really excited to get going in Manchester on the fan forum. Let me just get this up and running. So looking forward to this. It should all be positive, but I'm going to be realistic as well. Positivity, but room for improvement is always the way to go, isn't it? Okay, I think an 8 for me from Binder. I'm going to be realistic. You can be sensationalist, and I love it. 8 for me because I thought up until the penalty he was really shaky. I thought his kicking in the first half was a concern, and I thought the punch on the first goal wasn't great. But after that, magnificent. And I thought the penalty save from Havertz was incredibly good. And I thought the penalty save from Odegaard was, I mean, it should be a 9 actually. I mean, 2 penalty saves. Kept us in the game, won us the game. Yeah, 9. I'll go a 9. De Ligt, 10. Absolute. I don't know what more you can do. I mean, I've played the game. I used to play defence, and I don't really understand. That's one of them games from him where when you play it, the reason he was getting so excited and, you know, fisting Mazraoui and high-fiving Maguire was because he was just so... The adrenaline was just so high because everything you do... I lost count of the amount of headers he won, the amount of blocks he had. That clearance deserves it. I mean, I just can't believe that clearance. But no, not just that. Everything about it. It was just absolutely brilliant. Flawless. A flawless defensive performance. And absolutely brilliant. And he's been doing it for weeks. And we need to call out these ex-players and journalists who won't give him any credit. They act like he's a bad signing. You still got Gary Neville talking about a bad summer transfer window. What bad summer transfer window? Yoro is going to be a superstar. De Ligt's been fantastic. Mazraoui's been brilliant. Agate's been brilliant. And Xerxes just scored the bloody winning goal at Arsenal. What is this bad transfer window that people keep mytholizing, which isn't even a word, just like a bad transfer window? We haven't had a bad transfer window. The players were good. They are good. I almost feel they'll be going, finally, they've given us a good performance. It's been happening for weeks. Maguire, for me, would get a 9. If I'm giving De Ligt a 10, I'm giving Maguire a 9. Again, as a centre-back performance, what more would you expect? Body on the line, crosses, headers, blocks, marking. Yeah, it helps when you're playing Havertz, I admit, but I just think Maguire and De Ligt were flawless today. Martinez, I would give him, 7.5? Yeah. There were times where he was a bit out of position, and obviously it was never a yellow card, but I think to play with the discipline that he did, I'd almost put it up to an 8. Because on a yellow card, with the way Arsenal was... And can I just say as well, I know you've lost and I'm rubbing salt in the wound, but the way Arsenal were diving, rolling around like they're auditioning for EastEnders, and then surrounding the referee. You know, on Delot's first yellow card, Delot did the foul. Within 2 seconds, Gabriel was there. He's a centre-back. Like... It's something I detest about Man City and Arsenal today. Running around the referee, diving around. Saliba on the halfway line when Rasmus held the ball up. I mean, I just thought, is that how desperate Arteta's become? That it's all about trying to get somebody sent off or winning free kicks because you're so crap at scoring goals in open play? Mazraoui, yeah, an 8. He normally gets a 7 and 8. What did he, just ridiculously... consistent, hard-working. I thought the defence were fantastic. Agate, an 8 as well. Especially in the first 20 minutes where I thought the midfield was getting overrun. He was absolutely everywhere. The substitution surprised a few people, but I think it was about fresh legs and tactics. I thought he was brilliant. Mainu, probably a 7. I don't think Mainu had his best game in the first half, and I think he struggled. I think Mainu struggles when we're not on the ball. I think when we're defensive, I think it's not really what Mainu's all about. I think Mainu's better when we have more possession, and we didn't have a lot of possession today, but he didn't have a bad game. I just don't think we could get him in the game to his strengths, really. Delot, I'm conflicted on Delot because I've seen them both back. I took time to look at them before, in between the watch-along and now. The first one is a yellow card, and the second one is probably a yellow card. But where I would defend Delot is that Arsenal did loads of fouls as bad as that. Martinelli did one. And never got a yellow. So I would still say that the red card was unfortunate considering how biased the referee was. I think you can look at both and say they're a yellow card in normal circumstances. But the way the referee refereed that game, don't tell me Arsenal didn't do similar fouls and not get yellow cards. I mean, there was one where Havertz was on a yellow card where he pulls Collier back. We got a yellow card for that. So, look, probably a 5. But I'm not going to give the referee any credit because even if he was right, he was wrong. Garnacho, 7 for me. Difficult game. Really difficult game. Not a lot going on in the attack. But had to work hard. You've got to wait for your opportunity and take your opportunity. And that's exactly what he did. He carried the ball. He played a lovely pass to Bruno. The weight of the pass along the ground, carried it. Nice 7 for me. Difficult game for our forwards, but I'm happy with Garnacho today. 7. Bruno, 7.5. 7.5. Showed leadership. Understand his frustration, why he got a yellow card. Big penalty to take the first one. You'd expect that. Lovely goal. In and out of the game, but 7.5 for me. Rasmus, look, let's be honest, it was a 6. It was a 6. It wasn't a good performance. it was a difficult shift, and it wasn't a great performance. And I think, to be honest, I can't give him a 5. If Delo's getting a 5 for getting sent off, I can't give Rasmus a 5, so I'll give him a 6. But it's probably, I mean, I'll do it in the preview, but it's probably justifiable to start Xerxes on Thursday, I would say. I'm sure most of you will agree with me that, but I probably would start him on Thursday because, yeah, there's no service into the striker. I get that, but it probably is time for just a bit of time on the bench because then again, you might get chances against Southampton. Look, we'll deal with that then. It wasn't a great performance. Ahmad, look, probably a 7 for me. Same as Garnacho. Difficult game, especially when you're down to 10 men. Put a shift in, worked really hard, but, you know, attacking-wise, very similar to Mainu. Ahmad, you're going to get the best out of Ahmad and Garnacho and Mainu when you've got more of the ball, and we didn't have the ball. Collier, I thought, was a 7.5. I mean, I really do think that for a kid to come on into a game like that, I was excited about Collier in pre-season. It's a shame he had the injury. His physicality, his speed, his touch, I think he's got a great chance of being a Man United player. And also, I think it's a massive vindication that Casemiro and Eriksen didn't get used at all. He trusted Collier. And I thought that was a real statement. And I think he made that statement justifiably. I thought his engine was so important. Xerxes, look, I'm going to give him an 8. Some people might say you're taking the piss. And I probably am. But if we don't big up players and give them a bit of a boost, then what are we? He's just scored that penalty. If he misses that penalty and Arsenal go on to win it, we're having a different view on social media of this player. People are going to be going, he bottled it. He cost us the game. Get rid of him. He's not focused. So my justification for the 8 is, if I know how social media is going to pile in if he misses that penalty and we go out, then I'm going to give it a bit of a boost the other way and say, he scored a big penalty there. He did all right when he came on. And hopefully we get less stories about Italy and more focus on the pitch from now. And as I said, he could start against Southampton. Malacia came on and did well. 7 for me. Yoro, 7 as well. Look, everybody off the bench did well. Amorim today, I mean, look, you've got to be going up to 9s for me. It's a ridiculously hard job when you're up against a referee, you're down to 10 men, you're away from home. I think that, for me, is a game where you implode. Man United implode in that situation and lose 4 or 5-1, and Arsenal are there, you know, sitting it out, cruising through. The amount of effort, mentally, stamina, but also tactically, it's all about organisation. When you go down to 10 men, to still keep your 5 and your 2 and work hard, a man down, that's tactics as much as it's stamina and effort and focus and concentration. So I thought it was, yeah, fantastic from Amorim today. Man of the match, Binder. Well, I'm absolutely stunned. I'm absolutely stunned. I don't mind it. But for me, De Ligt, easy man of the match. De Ligt actually only got 15% in second place. So Binder, a star is born. He's obviously a fan favourite, and I don't mind that. But for me, De Ligt was just flawless today. But well done to Binder. 2 fantastic saves. There's a conversation to be had. I would get into the forum on this. I haven't had time. Does Binder start ahead of Onana now, or does Onana come back? I think he will bring Onana back and he'll keep Binder for the cup. But would you build on that and put him in goal? I don't think he will, but, you know, who knows what could happen. They are live in the fan forum. I'm sure they've got a lot to say. My throat is just about done here. I'm going to go on. I'm so glad I don't do dry January, because I'm definitely going to have a few tonight. You don't get many games like this. Enjoy it, and especially when we would it was justice. So many things went against us and we still won. Absolutely incredible. And as I say, the higher they build the barriers, the taller we become. United. United. Get over to the fan forum. United.